Sponsored. This guy is actually, guys, Shakira. I want you to talk about, I think, anybody really in Empowerment Network. There's just people who, I don't know if you can even mention any of them, but Shakira actually engaged full-time here. And, I think he's making a few million a year over in this other company. And
it's funny. Can you guys hear me clearly?
Yeah.
So, yeah, he actually called me up and he was like, what's this Empower thing? It seems to be blowing up. So I'm like, dude, I'm making all the streams amongst the others, but I'm going to focus more on it after seeing what Vic has done. I'm shifting a lot of my focus on Empower full time. And so he's like, okay, why don't you just fly down to my
here in another company? He says, what's this deal? And you went to his house?
So I guess you guys didn't hear me. So I went to his house and I literally drew out the entire plan on a whiteboard. It's pretty cool, and now he's starting full time. And, just because of how they leveraged income, to see how, last month, what was last month? Canada, I went skiing there, and I actually got only 28 basics to come in last month because I didn't, is because, I'm all in, and I was all in from day one. And I've been doing this completely part-time for the last, I think it's been about 9 or 10 months now. Like if you guys wanna start making money, and you're seeing, they're wondering, I really need a bridge of the 5 people that you hang around with. So, when I was growing up, I didn't have a lot of role models, or I didn't have a lot of people that were successful. And I mean, you can see the big, massive bookshelf behind me. I read books right here now, and because I always try and surround myself with people that are just way better than me at, in the life, my subconscious takes me into that direction. And one of the things that I learned early on was the real magic, you're probably sitting there at home, frustrated, overwhelmed, and, really questioning your own belief. And when you get to an event and you go and meet 4,000, 5,000 people, just like yourself, that's when the real breakthroughs happen. And I remember, when I was 21 years old, which is about 3 years ago now, when I first got into this industry, I got sold into a $20,000 business company, and Aaron Rashkin was there, and I've been learning from Aaron and his wife, Sophia, for the last, going into an event and meeting these 2 Norwegian guys that Aaron actually sponsored. $1,000 a year was a lot of money. And I remember sitting at this bar and meeting these 2 Norwegian guys and talking to them, and they were telling me how they were making over $65,000 in a single month. And I remember just my whole financial thermostat just went through the roof. And I went back home, and I remember meeting a couple of guys. One was called Michael, and he was telling me actually the power on Twitter, and calling them up and saying, hey man, listen, I'm 21, if there's any chance you can lend me some money, and it sounds really crazy and funny and stupid, whatever, but there was actually a guy who lent me money. There was actually a guy, his statement to my mom and dad, and I'm actually living in my mom's way, like they were thinking and my dad always thought, he was like, okay, so you're part of a pyramid scam now. And when I started making money, I remember I went in, okay, so now you're at the top of the pyramid, taking everyone's money. And so after that event, what happened was, within 2 months, I raised the money because of the way we grow up, culture and society and TV, our minds are kind of very disempowered, and we have disempowering stories that really hold us back. So I started reading, a lot of books on how to condition my mind, how to think like successful people, and within 2 months, I figured it out. I attracted the money. I did whatever I could. I swallowed my ego. I was $45,000 a month. And I remember just paying off all my debts, and it was just it was just one of those feelings, you know. I want to help you guys experience this feeling, because I'll tell you right now, it's one of the most freeing, and especially when people say stuff like, you know, money doesn't buy happiness. So here's the thing, you know, like I'm 24. I guess, you know, I have a few advantages. I don't have a family. I can, you know, take the funding. Like my younger sister's about to get married, and she's do a webinar, or I can write a couple of emails and pay for her whole entire wedding. And for me, that's just so weird that, man, the kind of freedom this business gives you, it's just unimaginable. Amazing, you know, it's just amazing. And right now I'm just kind of having so much fun, and the money is a byproduct. The money is a byproduct of the value that you create in the market. You know, trying to pay off the bill or pay the bills off, and that's cool. You know, if you're at that situation, man, like hide under the covers like a little kid, thinking, shit, I'm just gonna get, you know, embarrassed again, because none of the networking with like-minded individuals, because just seeing people in flesh, in front of you, your self-esteem, your ability to take more action increases, and your confidence increases.